Hey everybody, welcome. It is Saint Godric back for another tier list. It has been a long time since we've done one of these, but I think it is time. Amtgard, the Lord of Amtgard, just dropped a massive rules update. So today we are going to do a tier list of all of the classes as well as the archetypes based on these rules changes.
Flames, they whisper low.
So a few things I want to get out of the way before we jump into this. These ratings are going to be my ratings, of course. Uh, Generally, how I am ranking these things are when I am lining up in a kingdom level game and I'm looking up and down the line at my team and the other team. When I see an average, normal Amtgarder, what am I feeling about that player playing this class and this archetype? Now, what that means is we're not talking about the most competitive 10 on 10, all-star, whatever. We're talking about the average Amtgarder playing this class. They're 6th level. They know their abilities. They know what they're doing. They're not brand new, but they're also probably not a battle master either. Um, I guess I should get that out of the way too. I am a battle master, so a little bit qualified, I feel, to get into some of this stuff. But I want to give that caveat because almost always, and it's always the archers who do this, right? I inevitably have archer pretty low on the tier list. We'll get into why here in a minute. But there are these people, it's like, I am the best archer in the world. I could be an A tier or an S tier. And you might be. I doubt it. But you might be. We're not talking about the absolute peak of each class here. We're talking about the normal player playing this class. Because, like, I can put a Battlemaster Warlord on a souped up, fully stacked monk, and that monk is still going to be could be really good, but it's because the player and not necessarily the class. So we are doing it the average across the line. With that out of the way, let's get to it. So we're going to go in alphabetical order here. Let me pull up my cheat sheet. So we are going to start with the Corruptor Anti-paladin. So we'll talk just a little bit about what changed there. Not a whole lot changed for Anti-paladin in this rule set. It did get the helm change, and it got the free casting hand that all the melee users got. The helm change, I think, is huge. You'll see this a lot. Essentially, heavy helm gives you a +1 on everywhere that you have armor. Massive, right? Because now shark mail and a heavy helm is 4 points. Great kit, awesome. So I think that melee is going to be very good overall. So A tier class. I think that it was S tier before this. It was one of my best classes in the game. But with some of the buffs to some of the other classes, it gets dropped down a little bit. I still think it is very good. I think you cannot go wrong with this corruptor. Very, very good. It's just some of the other options outshine it a little bit. Next up, we have Infernal. So this is the AP. If you get the spell ball, flame, you get the fireball. A little bit fun if you like that. For me, it's more of a gimmick than like top tier. It's fun when you're line fighting just to get a spell ball out occasionally. It's okay. I'm putting this in B tier. This is still a very good class in the sense it's probably better than most of the paladin, or sorry, most of the barbarian archetypes that are out there, but just not as good as the other anti-paladins. Definitely not as good as the paladins and the warriors. So I'm going to put Infernal in B tier. Then last up for Anti-Paladin, I have my base Anti-Paladin as one of your terrors. There's nothing really major changed here. I have this in A tier as well. I think you cannot go wrong playing Anti-Paladin. I had this in S tier again last time. It was good pre-changes. I still think it's great. It's just some other things have been nudged up and over. So Corruptor in base, in A tier, and Infernal in the B tier. So next up, we have Archer. Let me take a look real quick and see what our changes for Archer were. So they are going to benefit from the helm change. There is a greater min change, which is a buff to Artificer. They also got a buff to reload, and they got a fairly big buff to more arrows. So no real nerfs here for Archer, just a bunch of buffs. So last night, Archer was one pre these buffs, was one of the worst in the game, probably the second worst class in the game. I still don't think it's great, but it's at least in a better spot. So let's look at the most popular when we have Sniper. People love Sniper. For me, I'm still putting Sniper in D tier. Most archers in our game are not great. The class isn't that great, and it just people are slow and people take forever to line up their shots. It takes forever. You'll get one shot off. You'll probably miss it because most archers aren't great in our game, just being honest. And you get some really good exceptions to that, but your average archer, I'm not worried about at all on the field, especially when they're playing sniper. It's just not as good most of the time. I don't like it as much as the other ones. Base archer, I am actually gonna move up. Let me double check. I've got base archer in C tier. It is actually okay now, where it used to not be. Like I would like roll my eyes and not want archers on my team for in competitive environments or even just normal environments. But now with these buffs, with more arrows, archer is now okay to play. It's still not good. It's still not optimal, but it's okay. And next up is the Artificer subclass. This is the one that gets you all of men's. This is the one that is the more utility-based archer. You lose out on a lot of your different arrows, especially arrows, and you kind of focus in hard on one. I actually think this is the best version of archer. I actually don't mind having artificers on my team. When they jump in, they're not bad. You can pair up with a front line. They're more of a right behind the front line as you're fighting. Your support spells are really good. Pinning arrow is still really good. So I actually don't mind having. I think the artificer is the best overall archer class. If you want to play archer, this is what I would recommend. Next up, we've got our assassins, which got a couple of changes, nothing major. They benefit from the helm change and technically the freehand casting, eh. But nothing major. So no major changes here. For assassin, I have my base assassin as a B tier. For me, this is the perfect balanced class. I think for new players and for advanced players, this is still a good class. Very rarely is it ever broken. Very rarely is it taking over games and it makes it not fun for other people. But also very, very rarely is it just garbage. You will always find assassins being useful, but not overpowered. And so whenever I'll balance, if I were in charge, I'm a balance around assassin. I think assassin is a balanced class where we should be moving bad classes up to and bringing the good classes down to. So for me, I have assassin as a solid B tier, as well as the rogue subclass. This is the one that gives you a bunch of extra throwies. It's fun. It's a little bit more gimmicky. I still think base assassin is better, but it's not bad. And then the lastly, we have Spy. I'm putting this one in C tier. This is one where we lose out on armor, but some of your abilities become cyclable. You get to charge them. This is the one I play the most out of these when I'm playing Bow Assassin. And then I think in that specific instance with Bow Assassin, it's probably a B, like a high B tier. But if you're playing like Melee Assassin and you're playing Spy, it's not worth it. You're bad. It's just not a good class at all. So because of that, balancing it all out, I had it in solid C tier. Next up, we have our barbarians. Let me see what got changed here. Nothing real major change here with barbarians, other than the helm change, which is going to be a little bit of a bump here for them. So base barbarian B tier. I think it is a fun melee class. I think there's the roleplay aspect of it. A lot of people like it. It is no fantastic. I think every AP is going to be probably more useful than it, but it's not bad. It's got some unique abilities. People are finally figuring out how to use their capstone ability well. So it's good. Good, solid, average. Next up, I have the Raider Barbarian, and I am putting Raider Barbarian as well as Berserker Barbarian into C tier. I just don't think either of these are that great, especially the one that you lose out on like armor on. Armor is just way too valuable, in my opinion, to be getting rid of. So most of the subclasses that get rid of armor, same thing with Spy, just aren't going to be as good as the base because armor is so valuable. So for me, Barbarian, Raider, Barbarian, Berserker are going to be a little bit on the lower tier. Next up, we have Bard. There were major changes for Bard. The helm change does help. That is a buff. Song of Visit, minor buff, not a huge deal. And then Heart of Swarm got nerfed, which is, I guess Heart of Swarm didn't, but now when you're if you are using other people are spawning on you, whether Hearthswarm or Golem or whatnot, you can't then spawn on another secondary spawn. So like you can't be Golemed while also Hearthswarming, to my knowledge. I think Bard is still good. I think Bard is the worst of the casters right now. Um, it might, I'm going to put it in on B tier. It might, here in a few months after we play, bump up to A, just because there have been some other things that have dropped command down. So Bard is going to be a little bit better here now, just because command is going to be less frequent, but I don't think it's enough to bump it too far down, or too far up or down. So I still am putting Bard in B tier. Next up, we have Druid, which has been S tier forever. It's been so good. They haven't touched it year over year. It just gets better and better and better. Um, now we have a couple of things. The buff that Druid did get this year, the Imbue Armor. I'm calling that a buff. The negatives, though, they nerfed Avatar of Nature, made it more expensive. They nerfed Golem. That took away, I think it was Armor Breaking or Shield Armor Breaking, one of those, Shield Crushing from it. And then they nerfed the Golem and the Heart of the Swarm. I don't think these nerfs are going to make it unplayable. I am putting it in A tier. I still think it is good. I think it's finally been knocked down a little bit. I think some of the other S tier classes are better than it. But Druid, if you're a good Druid, you're still going to be a good Druid. I don't think this changes that much. It's still going to be really good. Next up, we have Healer. Healer got a buff on the Abuse Shield Ching, big buff, and then a little buff on the Blessings change. Not a huge deal there. Some big nerfs though. Necromancer, he'll cost 2 points instead of 1. That's a pretty big nerf. And the Undead Minion got a little bit of a nerf as well. I'm putting Healer in A tier. Still good, still gonna be useful. We'll still see a ton of healers. Just not nearly as good as what it was. Still pretty good though. Next up, we have monk changes from monk classes that can wear armor. The helm change is going to be a little bit of a buff, but not really, just based on how this works. Innate, they get an additional innate, which is the biggest buff, which is going to help them quite a bit. And mystic, they get more spell balls. Nerfs, there was a fairly large nerf to Sanctuary, so that kind of balances out the innate buff, I think. Overall, I'm still not super high on Monk. We have Mystic, we have Medium, and we have Base Monk. First up, we have the Base Monk. I still don't think this is good. There's almost no reason to play this now. That's where these Paladin buffs. Base Monk, not great. The innate is nice, but we'll see that in medium. That's where it's most useful. I think base monk, there's very low reason to play base monk. I've been placing this in D tier. Not great. Wouldn't recommend it. Not very fun to play. Not very good to play right now. Next up, we have medium monk, which I think is actually decent with these innate changes and some. This is kind of a mid-line healer. There actually is a reason, and a good reason. I think I could actually see medium being used in certain team comps. Not bad, actually. Finally, get a little bit of love for monk, and this is funny that it now is a healing monk, which is finally good. Normal fighting monk, not great, and the mystic monk, which is the spellball monk. I don't even have an option for it because I did the room F tier. Mystic monk, I think, is the worst class in the game by far. Not useful. Don't take it. Don't play it. It's just not good at all. So I'm just going to delete that one. We is not worth taking. Next up, we get to the Paladin and all of the buffs that were there. Unneeded. Didn't need it. If we look at Paladin, they get to benefit from the free hand while casting as a melee, so now you can keep fighting with your pole and cast your Oz, and you don't have to take your hand off. Pretty big buff. The Imbue Shield getting changed to Imbue is a massive buff for Guardian. Now, not only can you imbue your shield if you want to play full defensive, but now imbue can go on weapons as well, which makes your weapons able to block spell balls and can't be destroyed. It's crazy good. Because now Guardian can be the best defensive option in the game, while also simultaneously being one of, if not the best offensive option in the game, while still getting Martyr, which I think is a super underrated ability. Martyr's really fun. So I think Paladin got huge buffs. The Helm bonuses as well. 3 points of Shark Nail on the Helm. great. And then negatives, this one will be seen. I am classifying the protection from evil change as a nerf right now. I know a lot of people are saying it's a buff. Now, essentially, you cannot extend your immunities. You used to be able to pick a command or death. Now it is only death, but it is persistent. And so while persistent is nice, most of the time I was giving out pro command just to counter casters. I would give pro command to one of my casters, and now I can't do that. So I think it is a nerf. I don't think it's a huge. So for me, let me go back to my cheat sheet here. I'm gonna put base paladin as an A. I think that it is a good, solid melee option. I love the greater heal. I love greater res. Fun way to play. Just a good class. Inquisitor, I'm moving to B tier. Now, I think it is probably like on the high end of B tier, and it's still good. But there's almost no reason to play Inquisitor anymore. It used to be if you want to be like the Mage Hunter, you would go and play Inquisitor because the Sacred Blaze was pretty decent. But now with the imbue on Guardian, there's just almost no reason. Really, the only thing Inquisitor does is because you can now stack, right? If I'm understanding this correctly, I mean, stack like a flank blade with your Sacred Blades. But in almost every instance, I would still rather just play Guardian. That being said, Inquisitor is still better than every Barbarian. It's still better than most assassin. Like if you're playing melee, Inquisitor is still really good. But now we get our first S tier, which is the Guardian. Um, just because of everything we talked about, I think Guardian is probably the best class in the game right now. It's going to be really, really good. You're going to be seeing a lot of it. So we'll leave that there. Next up, we get to our scouts, which got a ton of buffs. And this is the one that I'm most unsure about. I have brought all the scouts up in my tier list from last time. They could go up more. In the next 3 6 months, we'll see. I might make another one of these videos. Scout could go up even more than what I have them ranked at. They got a ton of buffs. So they're going to benefit from the freehand casting that all melees get. They're going to benefit from the helm change. They also got their heal in the res. They got additional heals in res. And then heal also got it becomes rechargeable. So, and no nerfs. So, like, really decent overall. Scout is now playable, and it is good in some instances. So over here, I have the Hunter Scout as a B tier. I think it is good if you want to play Scout. I like it. This one is a very solid, good option. Apex and Base Scout, I'm going to put in C tier. Um, this is mainly because most Scout players think that Scout is phenomenal, but almost never do I find Scouts to be super, super effective. They're fine. And if they are fine, it's because they're good archers, right? Most of the time, Scouts aren't impacting games in the way that like a good assassin can, or like a good even barbarian can. Let alone when we get to the A tier, all the melee classes. So all that being said, I could, if there's one that I think I could be wrong on, it's going to be these. We could move Hunter up and then Apex and Base into B, and I think I would be okay with that. Time will tell on that. Next up, we have our Warriors, and Warriors got some buffs here. Don't know why they needed them, but they did. Benefit from casting freehand. They get the helm change. There is a shake it off buff. No idea. No idea why Warrior needed the shake it off buff. And then imbue armor buff for Juggernaut. The only kind of negative is the hardened armor nerf to Juggernaut, but that kind of evens out there. So for me, if we look at this, I think Base Warrior is S tier. If you're going to invest in the armor, you're going to get 6 points. Run with it. Very good. You're never going to go wrong with that. I'm also putting Juggernaut in S tier. This one I think is great too, just because you even put the armor on, lighter armor, still very good. I think these, I love having the Juggernaut as well. And then Marauder, I have Marauder in A. I still think most of the Paladin, Anti-paladin stuff are going to be better than Marauder, but when you have that much armor and shake it off, you're going to be at least good. So even though Marauder is by far the worst of the Warriors, I still think it's better than every Barbarian class, so it goes in A tier. And then lastly, we have Wizard. And there are a few Wizard changes this time, all nerfs. Icy Blast and Shatter both got capped at 4. I get what they're trying to do. It's not enough, in my opinion. It's not going to make a huge deal. Most of the time, these are on recharge if people are running this combo anyway. So it's not too big of a deal. And then the Warlock nerf. Um, I don't know why we did it. That's not Warlock isn't the reason Wizard is broken. It's Battle Mage, and so I think that yes, it's Warlock, but how many Warlocks were out there? Battle Mage on competitive environments in particular is what's really really good. I'm glad the spellball changes didn't go through. That would have brought this down to A tier in my opinion. But Wizard is still S tier, very good. Countercaster, Battle Mage is so great. This full run and gun track Wizard is great. Wizard, best caster in the game by far. I think at this point, should if you're playing Wizard, keep playing it. I think you're good. So let me take a look at this overall. I think I'm good with this. Again, scouts bumping up are the ones that I can see changing. Um, but yeah, I'm confident with this. That is my list. Comment in the down below whether you agree, disagree, where you think things are. If I'm way off base, I know I'm going to get the salty archer comments. We always get salty archer comments on this channel. Sorry, get good, scrub. Um, Maybe we'll get some salty scout comments. We'll see. Um, but yeah, would love your feedback. Let me know what you're thinking. Please share this around into your kingdom, into your Discords, Facebook groups. Huge, huge help to the channel. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button. We'll see you next time.